Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me today. I know it's been a little while. I hope you guys are all doing well and staying warm out there. I know we got some pretty inclement weather here in Indiana. I'm sure a lot of you guys did as well. But I just got some exciting news yesterday that my PSA order, one of my PSA orders, I have 4 currently pending with them, but one of them is finally completed and ready to reveal the grades. I did look at these yesterday because I like to formulate my opinions and thoughts on them before recording a video on it. So this is going to be 30 cards. It's all from the years between 1992 and 1995 with these Marvel cards. So I'm going to go ahead and click on View Grades and we'll go ahead and get started. I believe it's just going to show me right off the bat the first card, so not really any suspense with this. And there we go. Okay, so very first card. Also, one thing I did, which I had previously wanted to do, I just never did it. I started taking pre-notes on what my prediction of the grades were going to be. That way I could compare them to see what they would be when they came back. So I actually graded 2 of these cards here. And for those of you that don't know, this is the Walmart version. These are silver X-overs. These are pretty big cards, pretty expensive cards for this era. And I know the little image here probably doesn't do it justice, but these are actually foiled, right? So they look a lot different than the base cards. Way less of a print run than the normal versions of these and the normal hobby boxes, but I graded 2 of these, and I predicted that one would get an 8 and one would get a 9 because one looks slightly better to me. I didn't think that these would get a 10, but they're just big enough cards that I thought would be good to have in a slab. So the first one got an 8, and the second one also got an 8. So little disappointing on that. I was hoping at least one of them would have been a 9 because the pop report on these in high grades, even 8, 9s, and 10s, any of those are pretty high for this card. This foiling chips really easy, so it's hard to get a high grade on this. Before I move on to the next card, let me take a drink of this delicious beverage here. 300 milligrams of caffeine running through my veins. All right, next card. We got 95 Fleer Ultra Spider-Man. This is one of the Masterpiece inserts in their set. Somehow this got an 8. I thought all 3 of these Masterpiece cards I sent in would be between a 9 and a 10. So unfortunately this one got an 8. This one got a 9, which I think this is a really cool card. It's centered very well. Everything on it. Not sure how it got the 9. I thought this would get a 10, but it's okay. Because this next one here, we got a 10 on this one. These cards also look really good in person. They kind of got that chromium effect to them, so, and they feel really good. You know, if you feel them on the hand, I don't know, just the texture of them, nice and embossed. Really cool cards. So happy with the 10 on this one, our first 10. Next one, we got the Electro Gold Signature version. So you would get one of these gold signatures per packs, and keep in mind a box of these cards runs about $700 to $800 now at this point. So these cards are, as you can see, they're the premier. They are pretty premium cards now. And there is the little gold foil signature. So they're just stamped on there. But yeah, got the 9 on that. It's okay. Those are really hard to grade. Next up, we have one of the Carnage cards. So this was like the first inaugural year where they started doing these in the Fleer Ultra sets, where they had like a character that they would show like in historic locations like this, and have the same character. I know they did one with like Deadpool around the world as well on that. So really cool. Got the 10 on this. Happy with that. The Alamo. Next one here, Wrigley Field in Chicago. Nice one here. It looks like he's throwing a Cubs player. There, got the 10 on that as well. One thing I will say that I never really used to notice that kind of bothers me a little bit. I feel like his mouth on both of these cards, it seems pretty lazy. It's just like a hollow, like pinkish, light red color mouth. I think that's pretty true to character, but I don't know. It would have been cooler to see like teeth or something like that, because I know there are some variations of Carnage that actually has like teeth and everything, and it looks a little more menacing. This just kind of has like a black shadowy, I don't know, it just seems kind of like the mouth work could have been a little better on these, but it's okay. Next one, I am a little disappointed in this. I've gone on record a couple of times in saying this is my favorite battle spectrum card ever. Out of all the sets, still to this day. If you have a battle card, I know these were called Greatest Battles in the Fleer Ultra sets. Man, I love this card. I'm always going to hunt for the 10 in this. And this one looked really clean. I've considered cracking it and resending it, but I don't know. I'm kind of exhausted with grading cards, you know, it can be a huge money pit. Cracking, sending it back in, possibly getting the same grade or a lower grade. It's just, you know, I don't know, it's a gamble. But next one here, another Greatest Battles. This one's pretty cool as well. We got Cyclops and Mr. Sinister. Got the 9 on that. And then, this is a disappointing one. So on my notes, I had between a 9 or a 10 on this. This is one of the best quality copies of this card. So this was, I pack pulled this one. This card is so hard to grade because if you look at the edges and corners and everything, it's solid colors, like a solid red and orange like this. So you can really see any little white chipping or indent on any of these. And this is Julie Bell artwork. This is one of the best Psylocke card, even though it's just a base card from the set. Man, the swing on this card, this is probably like a $25 to $30 card in a 9. A 10 would have been a $200 to $300 card without a doubt. Very low pop report on this as well. But yeah, the card, I mean, this card looks fantastic. This is one I might crack and resend, just because it's worth it to me, and I've been hunting this card in a 10. All right, next up, Cyber. I just really like Cyber. I know even if this hit a 10, this is a pop 0 in Gem Mint. There are none. So a 9 is the highest that there is. Another one. I mean, just look at the edges and corners. It's the solid color. It's so hard to grade. So would have been happy to be the first one to have this in Gem Mint, but it's okay. All right, next one we have the Rogue. This was the little Spring Break subset. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the face. Something looks a little off on the art on this. I love the card, don't get me wrong, but just something with her face looks a little strange. I don't know what it is, but happy to have this in a 10. I graded 2 of these. The next one got a 9. I thought both of these would get a 10 because they look pretty flawless to me, but it's okay. I'll take 110. And I learned something. For any of you guys that grade, you probably want to know this, and I wish I had learned about this prior to submit, because I submitted this like almost 5 months ago. But if you ever send in 2 of the same cards, never send those in the same order, especially back to back like I did here, because there was an interview done by PSA, and I always wonder this as well, but an interview done by a PSA employee where they said if you send 2 of the same cards in an order, they will hold those cards up together and find a reason why one of them should grade higher than the other, because they have something to directly compare it to. So one will almost always be a higher grade than the other one. So very rarely will you get 2 back-to-back 10s of the same card. So there's that. All right, moving on. We have Wolverine without his mask and Sauron. Wolverine vs. Sauron has some great battle cards. I'm a little disappointed we have struck out on these Greatest Battles, gotten all 9s on these. Keep in mind, these are 30-plus-year-old cards. So even getting 9s on, it's not like I'm sending modern Pokemon or something like that. These are hard cards to grade, right? So I'm not super mad about getting 9s. Because this is still, I don't even know, I'll have to check again. I don't even know if there's a PSA 10 in this. If there is, it's only 1 or 2 at most. All right, next up we got Jean Grey. This is a disappointing one as well. I love the Julie Bell artwork down here. You know, see she always puts her little signature on there. But yeah, I'm not a big Jean Grey guy, but this card is just fantastic. The color palette on this, it just looks so good. But yeah, would have loved the 10 on that, but it's okay. Alright, so we got a Pop 1 here, and I know Exodus probably not a super popular character that anyone really talks about, but this is an awesome card. Bob Larkin did the artwork on this, and I'm very happy to have this in a 10. If you really look at the card, I think the artwork's really good on this. It's really, really pleasing to the eye, and I'm happy to be the first person to get this in Gem Mint. So I will definitely take this. Next up, Cyclops. There's 2 cards in this set, and I'm going to show you the other one later. But and this is just a base card, but this is my favorite Cyclops card of all time. Right here, still to this day. I think this whole 95 Fleer Ultra X-Men set has some amazing cards in it. Would have loved to get the tin in it, but the thin card material, the solid edges with the coloring, it's just so hard to grade these. Okay. Got the checklist. Yes, I do grade checklists. I don't think anything screams the 90s nostalgia more than checklist cards, and unfortunately got a 9 on this. I felt real confident in the 10 on this. I'm not sure why exactly I got it. The centering's pretty good on it and everything, so yeah, a little disappointing, but it's okay. Moving on, we got another Spring Break. Got the Iceman. Got a 9 on this. Is what it is. Next one, 1992 Comic Images Punisher. So there were 3 variations of these Prism cards in this set, and this is one of them. There's one I like a lot more than this, but this one, happy to get the 10. These cards look a lot better in person than on this because it's that Prism very shiny card. So happy to get that in a 10 from 1992. Next up, disappointed in this one. Now, I didn't think this would get a 10, but I was hoping for at least a 9. This is the silver variation of this Hunter and Stalkers card, and yeah, these were the Jumbo Pack exclusive. So again, much smaller print run than the normal rainbow version, and these silver versions, in my opinion, are much harder to grade because you can see the foiling when it flakes off on the silver way easier than you can notice it on the rainbow. So yeah, that's a bummer on this one, but it's okay. The Wolverine, I'm happy with this one. I predicted that all 3 of these silver variants that I sent in, I predicted that they would be between an 8 and a 10. So getting a 9 on this is still a pretty big card here. Very low pop report on this. And one thing, if you guys probably already know this, but these Hunter and Stalkers variants of these cards, the cool gimmick that it has is they're interacting with the card. So you can see here he's cutting through his nameplate at the top. If I go back to the Deadpool, you can see he cut through with his katana. Look, it cut through the D right here for Deadpool. A lot of people don't really notice that, but that's really cool. Wish they did more little things like that in the modern era, but yep, the Wolverine up there. And then next up is random. We got the 8. So we got a 7, an 8, and a 9. That's okay. But look, you can see the D and the O, it's like the smoke from his gun is like, you know, muffling the, making it a little wavy, kind of like how when you look through. Next up, we got the Juggernaut. Len Fabry artwork. Okay, so I really used to like this card, and this is one of those where the more I look at it and really analyze it, I kind of like it less and less. 2 things. First of all, Juggernaut, so many of his cards, he's just punching through a wall or something, and this is such a common image of him. Secondly, something with his helmet. I think his face looks great, right? His face under that looks amazing, but the shape of the helmet reminds me of like an egg. This just reminds me, so when I look at, I don't know, I just think of like a little egghead variant of Juggernaut. I like the more wide helmet versus the little like shape like this. Whatever that made, like this oval type shape. So yeah, but happy to get the 10 on it. I already had this in a gem mint, so this is a double. That shard, I must have completely overlooked something here. If you get a 7 on something, that means there is some kind of dent or a crease in it. So I must have overlooked it. I know Shard's not a big character. I just really thought the realistic artwork on this was amazing. So went ahead and took my shot and graded it. Definitely going to take a loss on this one, and that's okay. But here we got the Gem Mint. Finally got a Greatest Battles in Gem. And it's Cable versus Deadpool. So great card here. Happy to get the 10 on that. And this was the other card when we were looking at the Cyclops. So that Cyclops was my favorite Cyclops card of all time. This is my favorite Gambit card of all time. And it's tough because Gambit's got some really great cards out there. But I have to say, this is such a great card. Disappointed this got a 9. I was hoping for the 10. Some of these cards like this in the Psylocke, Kind of, some wishful thinking. I'm like, I could see it being a 9, but it is worth the risk because who knows, maybe I'll get the 10 on it because it's a really clean copy of the card. Right, next up, we got the Bishop. So I don't know. This one's got a lot of mixed opinions. Super happy to get the gem mint on this. I think it's a great card. Something weird about this Bishop, and you can totally get like the pose that he's doing. Boris Vallejo and Julie Bell, they had actual real... Julie was a bodybuilder. They had real life models come in and posed for them when they did their art. And you can 100% tell by this pose, this has got a bodybuilder written all over it. But I don't know, something about it. I don't know if it's the very tight tights down here. It's got a very feminine vibe. Like, I don't know, it's like very masculine, but very feminine as well. So I don't know, it's just kind of a weird style of the art, but I really like the card. I think it's great. I think it looks really good on the yellow. Bishop looks pretty buff as hell in this card. So yeah, I think it's a pretty cool image. Happy to get the 10 on that. And my last card, very disappointing here, got the 7. This was also from the 92 Punisher comic image set. This is a scratch and sniff, right? So you would scratch this little part up here and you would smell it. And it was still very potent to this day. I just opened this box earlier last year, and you could still smell it, 30 plus years later. I wonder, do you think the grader, when they got this card, do you think they gave this a little scratch and sniff when they were grading it? I bet they did. My guess would be that they did. I would have done it if I was the grader. I wouldn't be able to resist. But that is it, guys. That's all 30 cards. So we went 10 for 30 in gem mint, which is actually, so, a little over a 30% gem mint rate, which is really good for these older cards. These are some tough cards to grade in that set. I got 3 more grading reveals going to be coming out soon. Like I said, I got 3 more orders. They are all in the queue, the very last step of grading. So if you enjoy these grade reveal videos, I'll have 3 more coming out, I would imagine within, at least by the end of February. So yeah, I appreciate you guys taking the time. If you stuck around to check out the video, I hope you guys all have a great remainder of your day and stay safe out there. Catch you next time. Bye-bye.